Hi everybody, this is the Baseball Hut, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the People's Champion. Your host, the Hut, and welcome back to the Baseball Hut 2, and hopefully you like this video and hit that subscribe button. So here we are back here, talking about Shohei Ohtani. I'm going to talk more about the Dodgers in this, and the media. Because the media has gone out of its way to cover for the fact that the Dodgers spent $700 million for one player, and instead of saying that this was not good for the game, it's not good for the fans of other teams, they said that this is good for the game. Okay? It's almost like the media has been like, unpaid interns in the, the publicity that MLB is trying to put out there. I'll point this out. Chris Russo is on MLB Network, and he also is a radio legend. He is on Sirius XM radio. He destroyed the Dodgers, completely, totally destroyed the Dodgers on his show when it came out that Ohtani was getting $700 million, and that the Dodgers are only going to pay $2 million over the next 10 years, and that MLB needs to take action. The next day on his show, he basically changed his tune on MLB Network because he basically got sent to the woodshed, and they basically told him, you can't say that here, and you have to back off. Now, obviously, the MLB does not want anyone looking into the books about this. To me, I find this very dishonest. Why do you have all these competitive balancing taxes, and the Mets, the Yankees have to pay this stuff, and you have the Dodgers basically kicking the can down the road? Because there was a lot of talk when this contract, the details of the contract came out, that the Dodgers were probably going to sell the team after this contract is up. And the new ownership, whoever that may be in the future, will be stuck having to pay for this guy for the 10 years after. So media has not really hit him too hard. The New York media has talked about it a little bit, but not to the point where it needs to be discussed. And obviously they made this trade on Thursday for Tyler Glasnow, and how Glasnow signed the contract, which was an outrageous contract. And I'll tell you why. He signed a 5-year, $110 million extension. This is a guy that has pitched 500 innings in baseball. Now, I think the Dodgers got grifted in this because the Rays are the biggest grifters in baseball. And but they signed him. People say he's a number one starter, but meanwhile he pitches terrible in big spots. Terrible in postseason. But the point being is that the Dodgers now have money to spend, and I know it's all legal. Well, if it's legal and the government says it's okay, then you can do it, I guess. But you have so many teams, and I blame the ownership too of these other teams. If you're a fan and you're a team, say the Orioles, how do you compete against this? If you're a team like the Reds, how do you compete against this? If you're a team like the Diamondbacks, how do you compete against this? Now, I would mention the Diamondbacks went to the postseason. They went to the World Series. Now, the Dodger fans have been writing to me. They all of a sudden, they're all Ohtani fans. I hadn't heard from them. But the second I criticized their new acquisition, saying that he's no Babe Ruth. I'll mention this. I didn't mention this about Ohtani and Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth played against the Negro League players. In fact, he hit a home run off of Satchel Paige and barnstorming. Every offseason, Ruth would barnstorm. And a lot of times with Lou Gehrig. And also, if there was no Babe Ruth, there would be no Shohei Ohtani. Because in the 30s, Babe Ruth was going over to Japan promoting baseball, which was a very difficult time in the history of this planet when we had World War II rising and Imperial Japan. But they embraced the Babe. So we wouldn't have Shohei Ohtani if it wasn't for Babe Ruth. And Shohei Ohtani is a DH. I want to point that out. He's a designated hitter. He doesn't play the field. Babe Ruth played the field, and he played in the offseason. This guy doesn't. He's sitting at home with his purse puppy called Decoy. That's a horrible name for a dog. It's terrible. What a weird... I mean, this guy's a real weirdo. It's good that he's not in New York. He would never be able to handle it in New York. But now, the Dodgers have been a very regular season dominant team for the last 10 years. Really since Clayton Kershaw came up to the majors. But they have not had a great success in terms of postseason. They've been to a few World Series. They won in 2020. But they have not been nearly as successful as they want to be. Now, Ohtani has never been to postseason. This is a guy, when August, when they made those trades in Anaheim, he did not play well. He did not play well in August. I don't know if it's because of the injury that he had to his elbow, but he did not play well. So it is not a foregone conclusion that the Dodgers are going to win the World Series. How much better can they be? How many more people can they get into that ballpark? Okay, they sell out most of the games. They have one of the highest attendance records in baseball. How many more people are they going to get into that ballpark? Now, obviously, they're going to sell a lot of merchandise with his name on it. But how are they going to do this? Now, going back to the media, I have an article. It's from USA Today. From Bob Nightingale. He basically rolls over and basically kisses the feet of the Dodgers and Shohei Ohtani. Everybody knows, if you have a brain, that Ohtani went to the Dodgers because they gave him $700 million. But that's not what he and the media wants you to believe. If he wanted to win, he'd go to the Rangers. When you go to the Rangers, they won. Go to Houston, they've been good. The Dodgers have not been a postseason success like the Astros have. You know. And I would mention, the San Francisco Giants have won more in the past 10 years than the Dodgers have. Since 2012, the Giants have won 3 World Series. The Dodgers have only won 1 in a short season year. So here's from USA Today. Headline: Why did Shohei Ohtani solve the Dodgers? It's not just about the money. He wants to win. Let me tell you something, Bob. When the players say it's not about the money, it's always about the money. And if the media is saying it, they know that this is something that needs to be covered up. It wasn't a press conference Thursday afternoon at Dodger Stadium. It was a spectacle. Yeah, the media were falling all over themselves, talking about all these little, stuffed animal dogs that they were getting. That looks like his dog. Shohei Ohtani may have just taken his towns 40 miles away, but it was as if his 6 years with the LA Angels didn't count. He's gone from being a stunt double to a Hollywood star of the Los Angeles Dodgers. It's showtime in Los Angeles. I would mention, someone wrote to me saying that Ohtani's just getting started in the majors. Let me point something out about Shohei Ohtani. He's been in the major leagues for 6 years. He's a .274 hitter as a designated hitter. He's won 2 MVPs, but he's a .274 hitter. His career on-base percentage is .366. And he strikes out a lot. Now, in baseball today, they strike out a lot. That's not like how it was back in the majors. But he has struck out more over the first 6 years of his career than Babe Ruth did, over the full 6 years that he played. Ohtani talked over and over about the importance of winning. He has to. The Dodgers talked endlessly about what he means for the iconic brand. Nez Balella, Ohtani's agent, spoke about the need to remain private throughout the free agent process. And yes, just in case you were wondering, Ohtani's revealed his dog's name, Decoy. How about Asshole? What was the name of that dog in The Jerk? Asshole? I think his name Steve Martin called that dog. Just called that dog Asshole. About that. That would have been a lot more interesting than if it was Decoy. Ohtani may have been courted everywhere from Toronto to San Francisco to Chicago, but LA is the place he always wanted to be. There's a Dodgers franchise that has dominated the National League West the last 11 years, and one that views every year that ends without a World Series title failure. Now they have Ohtani wearing their uniform. He's 30 years old. He is not getting better than he is, folks. He's not getting any better than he has. So I will point that out. If he was 25 years old, I would say that he has a chance to get better. He's not getting any better than he is now. And he's only done it for 3 years. And he's not going to pitch next year. Quote, when I heard that Ohtani said about the Dodgers World Series of bust expectation, I knew they were all about winning. Well, yeah, he's going to say that because they gave him all that money. They're also brilliant businessmen, knowing that Ohtani's global brand will pay dividends, and that his 10-year, $700 million contract will pay for itself, particularly with $680 million deferred. Yeah, the next ownership's going to pay that money. Quote, I wouldn't have had the guts to propose it. They said that Ohtani did. But as Nez walked me through it, as Andrew Freeman, and laid it out, it was terribly consistent with everything he said throughout the process. The reason for the historic deferrals, Ohtani said, was simply to help the Dodgers build around him. Sure, there's a massive tax break if he moves out of California after his contract expires, but he didn't want to be a burden to the Dodgers payroll, preventing additional signings. See, this is the problem. I think this should be you want to have deferral. That's not a problem. This has been going on in the majors for the last 30 years, 40 years, deferrals. But to have this massive amount of deferment, you're talking about 95% of the payments are deferred. How do you do that? Quote, I figure if I defer as much money as I can, Ohtani said, that's going to help the CBT. And it's going to help the Dodgers be able to sign better players and make a better team. Now, he was not making a lot of money with the Angels, okay? And the Angels did their best to put a good team on that field last year. In 2023, they did not. They played well for a little while, but he faded, and so did they. This is not a guarantee. Ohtani is not a guarantee. And you don't know how he's going to go into that clubhouse. We know he's weird, okay? He didn't win with a great player and Mike Trout. Mike Trout is a player that's one of the great center fielders of all time. He didn't win with him, okay? And the Dodgers, I would mention, their pitching is not good. They don't have much starting pitching. Now you can say, well, they're going to sign Yamamoto. Why did they trade for Tyler Glasnow? He's covering in case they don't get Yamamoto. Because we're hearing all kinds of things here in New York that Yamamoto, that the teams are getting nervous. The Yankees get nervous. I've been hearing Dylan Cease today. I've heard Shota Imanaga that the Yankees are interested in. So the idea that he's going to go to the Dodgers, let's hold off and see where he goes. But he's another guy that's going to go where the money is. The players always go where the money is. Now this article goes on and on and on, but the point being is that the media will not go after the teams in the way it should be. And I would mention they're all part of this thing. They don't want to kill their access. And obviously, Mad Dog got told, you got to shut up. Stop talking about the money. Let's talk about how great he is and how great the Dodgers are. We want the Dodgers to be good. We want the Yankees to be good. We don't want the Mets to be good. We have an agenda against the Mets, and that is without a doubt, folks. Don't doubt me on that. They hate the Mets. They hate us as fans. Okay? Keep an eye on this thing that happened with Billy Epler. I believe that the Mets will get hit very hard on a punishment. Probably harder than the Astros did. Harder than the Yankees did with their whole monkey crap with their show game, what they were cheating and stuff, and whatever's going on down there in Atlanta. We know the Braves are doing something down there, and we know that the Rays are doing something funky down there in Tampa Bay. But the Dodgers better win. They better win at least 2 championships. I would also mention that because Ohtani's never been to the postseason, Babe Ruth is one of the great all-time World Series performers. He, for 25, 30 years, held the record for most home runs in the World Series up until Mickey Mantle came along. He also has several pitching records in the World Series as a Boston Red Sox. So the Babe did things that Shohei Ohtani has never done. So just put that in your pipe and smoke it. A Mad Dogism for you. So let me know what you think about this video. Of course, it's a very different... If you want something a little alternative, if you want the same drivel that you get on all these other channels, the Dodgers are great. The Dodgers are distant. You're not going to get that here. You will get honest. I'll be very honest with you. And somebody said to me, you don't know baseball. I know baseball inside and out. I know the game. And I try to not show too much of it. Show too much of my hand when I do these videos. I don't want to bore the audience. But I've been following the game since I was a little hut, And it's been my life's passion and my life's love, really. And I can't get enough of it, even now at my age. I can't get enough of it. So I always watch that documentary on MLB Network that they have, baseball all the time. And I watch as much as I can. I watched that documentary on George Brett last week. I've watched things on, what the hell was I watching last year? Don Mattingly. I watch all this stuff. I love all this stuff. So I know the game. I know the history of the game. And I'll tell you again, Shohei Ohtani could never, ever, and the hut means ever be the great George Herman Ruth. So, let me know what you think about this video. Of course, please subscribe to the Baseball Hut too, and I'll see you later.